Hello and welcome. I'm Shannon Patterson. So I got the opportunity this week to review this book, 10,001 Ways to Live Large on a Small Budget. Check out the review on the site if you haven't already. But I have to tell you, this book has already hit #1 on Amazon's money management list, so pretty amazing in its first week of release. Anyway, they also gave me the opportunity, the Wisebread folks, to interview Carrie Kirby, one of their contributors. Now, she left a job as a newspaper reporter to become a stay-at-home mom. Sound familiar? I thought so. So you can imagine I'm looking to her for a lot of advice right now. Why did you decide to leave your career?
I felt like I wanted to be home with my daughter more. I wanted to have more children. I really felt like having a caregiver in our lives added a lot of extra stress, even though we had found a decent one in San Francisco where we lived. I didn't like the idea of a daycare center. I wanted to only have a nanny if I was working, and at that point, it doesn't leave a lot of money incentive left over once you're paying another person full-time to look after your children. So I thought it would be better if I stayed home with them.
Was it a difficult decision for you?
Well, probably doing it was more difficult than I thought it would be. I was really kind of looking forward to it when I was leaving my job. It was hard to leave my job, but because we were moving anyway, that was not that big of a decision. We wanted to get back to the Midwest where both of our families live, and my husband was able to find a job here in Chicago. So it was sad, definitely, to leave my coworkers there at the Chronicle. But I think the hardest part was actually doing the transition. I thought that I would be freelance writing a lot when I left my job, that I would have a lot of spare time. And, I moved to a new city. I ended up getting pregnant right away, and I had this apartment to move into, and we were looking for a house, and I had a 2-year-old, and, I just, the first year, I don't think I wrote anything freelance, or very little. And so that was a surprise to me that I had so little time to work, actually, after I left my job, and that was difficult.
How has it changed the way you view the responsibilities of women and mothers since you've made this transition?
Well, I think it changes how a lot of families work on the practical level, definitely. When you're the mother and wife and you're the one who is at home during the day, it's kind of unavoidable that you end up taking most of the responsibility for the household work. And I've definitely run into a lot of frustrations with that, because when you're also trying to get in some career work around the edges, that's not really compatible with staying up late,
Right.
Cleaning the house and stuff. So, that's something that I definitely was thinking about a lot before I even left my job. I actually wrote a series with several other reporters about working mothers and work-life balance and balance within marriages. And so, this definitely made me think about it more. I don't think I've come across any answers, but I think my husband and I have found a little more balance over the last few years, too.
Is there anything you say that you've learned about yourself since you've decided to stay home?
Yeah. I think I really have realized that I like working on my own. I kind of knew that before, but, a lot of people, when they think about a stay-at-home mom and they think about sort of the psychological stresses of that and maybe feeling unfulfilled and, angst type things like that, I always try to remember back to my cubicle days. And I had a great job as far as jobs go. But, when I think about like the stress I had dealing with my editors, the feeling kind of, the same feeling sometimes of pointlessness and feeling trapped and repetitiveness sitting in a cubicle that moms have sitting at home with their kids, I realized that, I actually have a pretty good situation here. And especially in the last year, I've been able to get more work fitting in, but I'll see how that goes once I have my third baby here at home.
So my interview with Carrie is broken up into 3 parts. In the other segment, she talks about how to save money on groceries and cut your cable bill. And in the other segment, she talks about why she's a self-described shoplifter. Be sure to check out all 3. Thanks for watching. I'm Shannon Patterson.